Welcome to Bite at a Time Books, where we read you your favorite classics one bite at a time. My name is Bree Carlile, and I love to read and wanted to share my passion with listeners like you. You can sign up for our newsletter at biteatatimebooks.com. You'll also find our new t-shirts in the shop, including podcast shirts and quote shirts from your favorite classic novels. Be sure to follow my show on your favorite podcast platform so you get all the new episodes. We're part of the Bite at a Time Books Productions Network. If you'd also like to hear what inspired your favorite classic author to write their novels, and what was going on in the world at the time, check out the Bite at a Time Books Behind the Story podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Today we'll be continuing Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. Chapter 3. While Cosette and Toussaint are asleep. Jean Valjean went into the house with Marius's letter. He groped his way up the stairs, as pleased with the darkness as an owl who grips his prey. Opened and shut his door softly. Listened to see whether he could hear any noise. Made sure that, to all appearances, Cosette and Toussaint were asleep, and plunged 3 or 4 matches into the bottle of the fumade lighter before he could evoke a spark. So greatly did his hand tremble. What he had just done smacked of theft. At last, the candle was lighted. He leaned his elbows on the table, unfolded the paper, and read. In violent emotions, one does not read. One flings to the earth, so to speak, the paper which one holds. One clutches it like a victim. One crushes it. One digs into the nails of one's wrath, or of one's joy. One hastens to the end. One leaps to the beginning. Attention is at fever heat. It takes up in the gross, as it were, the essential points. It seizes on one point, and the rest disappears. In Marius's note to Cosette, Jean Valjean saw only these words, I die. When thou readest this, my soul will be near thee. In the presence of these 2 lines, he was horribly dazzled. He remained for a moment crushed, as it were, by the charge of emotion which was taking place within him. He stared at Marius's note with a sort of intoxicated amazement. He had before his eyes that splendor, the death of a hated individual. He uttered a frightful cry of inward joy. So it was all over. The catastrophe had arrived sooner than he had dared to hope. The being who obstructed his destiny was disappearing. The man had taken himself off of his own accord, freely, willingly. This man was going to his death, and he, Jean Valjean, had had no hand in the matter. And it was through no fault of his. Perhaps even he's already dead. Here his fever entered into calculations. No, he's not dead yet. The letter had evidently been intended for Cosette to read on the following morning, after the 2 discharges that were heard between 11 o'clock and midnight. Nothing more has taken place. The barricade will not be attacked seriously until daybreak. But that makes no difference. From the moment when that man is concerned in this war, he is lost. He is caught in a gearing. Jean Valjean felt himself delivered. So he was about to find himself alone with Cosette once more. The rivalry would cease. The future was beginning again. He had but to keep this note in his pocket. Cosette would never know what had become of that man. All that there requires to be done is to let things take their own course. This man cannot escape. If he's not already dead, it is certain that he's about to die. What good fortune. Having said all this to himself, he became gloomy. Then he went downstairs and woke up the porter. About an hour later, Jean Valjean went out in the complete costume of a National Guard, and with his arms. The porter had easily found in the neighborhood the wherewithal to complete his equipment. He had a loaded gun and a cartridge box filled with cartridges. He strode off in the direction of the markets. Thank you for joining Bite at a Time Books today, while we read a bite of one of your favorite classics. Again, my name is Bree Carlile, and I hope you come back tomorrow for the next bite of Les Miserables. Don't forget, you can sign up for our newsletter at biteatatimebooks.com, and while you're there, check out our t-shirt shop. You can look in the show notes or on our website, biteatatimebooks.com, for the rest of the links for our show. We'd love to hear from you on social media. You can find us everywhere at Bite at a Time Books.